Hello and welcome. Today's video we are going to be going over endgame build for Arena in order to reach God rank or even King God rank. In this build I'm going to be going over basically what you need, and then the relics, altars, accessories, legacies. I am not going to be going over the new Rift equipment purely for the sole reason I do not have what I need. I've been extremely unlucky with forging for the uniques. So since I don't have it, I'm not going to be using them. And since I'm not using them, I'm not going to be sharing them. So first off with this, it's going to be the Jinju build. So Jinju essentially ignores any of the arena seasonal effects. Basically the main thing about Jinju is she does not die once you have Elpis. And if she dies, she comes back. And if she dies again, she comes back again. And if she dies again, she comes back again. So she does have the basically unlimited lives. So how it works is you may die twice in the battle, but with the Elpis, you'll be able to come back in order to defeat who you're facing majority of the times because of that revived life. So starting off with Jinju, it is going to be continuous strike. And of course the Elpis, because that's the main thing that you're going to be using. You do need at least Elpis. I believe 8-star is good. 6-star will be decent. 8-star is better, and then of course 10-star Elpis is your best bet because it does give you all the stack effects, gives you 100% chance for the revives once leveled up to 30 out of 30, and then also the reduced damage taken upon revival. So Elpis is the main part of this. If you do not have Elpis, then you're unable to do this build. That's why I would consider this the endgame build. The next step for Jinju is going to be your steel set. So steel set, the main things that you need is the defenses. A few seasons ago, I would be stacking spell defense, because with Armis being ability power, and with Belina being ability power, you really needed to make sure your spell defense was a lot higher. I'm actually going to turn down the volume just a tad. You need the spell defense to be the higher one possible, because that's what a lot of the enemies that you're attacking into were. However, now with the release of Moonlight, you're going to be seeing a lot more Hansies and a lot more Sargulas. You can still lose to them with this build, but having a better defense for physical is going to be better for this. So in this case, you do want your steel set to have the double substats of defense and spell, or physical and spell. And then for your earrings and braces, also have the main stat as either the spell or physical. And then it's up to you as well if you want more attack speed or health. In this instance, I'm using the attack speed one, because as you can see, actually this one's better by just a few. It has a better physical defense than my HP one, where it's more so just the spell defense. So I'm actually going to be replacing this for my build. So this is essentially the accessories that you'll be having with Jinju. Let's make her red today. So up next, I'm going to go from the left. So Leo is really good to have. Again, you want to focus on the physical with him, because that's what you're going to be running into. But since I did have a lot more spell power before, that's why you have a little bit more spell power. So you can do two things. You can either do A1 for barrier, which gives them just a little bit more protection, or you can do break formation. So break formation is what I would recommend doing for when you're facing those scope teams. This is a very scope heavy team, so using him would be good because it knocks back out of the scope square. And then you just want the banner for the reduced damage taken when above 60%. Let's change his skin while I'm at it, and I've got everybody here. Just do that one. Next up, it's going to be Cardan. So Cardan, you want Moonlight. So basically, the only reason why you're using Moonlight is for the fifth passive of the hiding for 3 seconds, so that way you just don't get bursted. And the main thing that you need him for is Mirror. So I am still working on Mirror getting to 10. However, even a 1-star Mirror is really good. 2 stars a little bit better, but if you have a team of just 3 1-stars, that's great as well. The next breakpoint for Mirror is 6-star, because it essentially doubles the effect, because at the 50% mark, it stops taking damage for the first time for that 1.56 seconds. And then when you're at the 10-star, it just increases that invisibility duration as well. So Mirror is there for a tank at the 50% mark and the 100% mark of his life being taken. And then you want A2 to be able to gain Mighty Block, and then also take away Mighty Block if there are some. Up next is Tavek. So Tavek is going to be using Adamant set for the... Essentially why you want the Adamant set for this is for the 5 set of the +5 MP 1 hit. He is going to be taunting everybody, so you want as much health as you can, and then as much defenses as you can. I'm basically using the free set that it comes with, so it's not the best, but not too much that you need to put effort into. The main thing is just the HP that you need. If you are able to upgrade the defenses, great. If not, you can see I'm already using the free set, so it's a-okay. Now, I've been getting extremely lucky, and I'm starting to build a second Ellipse. This has just happened this season. I ended up getting back-to-back Ellipse for when I was pulling from last raid season's Legacy Stones. So, if you don't have a second Ellipse, which I would assume most people don't, you would want this to be the Magical Armor. Either Magical Armor or another Knight's Banner. That is what you're going to be using instead if you do not have a second Ellipse, which again I don't assume most people do. Or you can use Mirror for him as well if you have another Mirror. Hirang is here for freezing of the tanks, so that way your Jinjus can go into the actual carries. So you need to be making sure that you're using Frozen Sea, because that is what's going to be freezing them. You don't have to use Immaculate Sea. I've actually just switched it for my last form. I found that it really did nothing, other than just show off. But you can use, I would use Training Sword for the additional attack speed. And then again, all you need is the Moonlight for the 5th set to high, so that way you don't die right away. Now, it's actually all my Moonlight is level 1 for him, so you really don't need anything for him, except for the 5-set passives. For this, I am going to be turning back to the Training Sword, just so that way I can attack more, and I'll keep the Ginkgo Pass. Last up is Q. You actually don't need her at all. This slot can be taken away. You can replace with a Link hero if you really want, which I would probably recommend not. You actually don't need the 6 hero in this build. For me, what I'm doing right now is just the 5 build. So I'm just putting Q up there to show off that I have legacies. I'm going to change the skin to the Beyblade. Have some different. So this is basically the team. Again, your main focus is Jinju, so make sure you max out the accessories on her as much as you can. And then your altar is the 15 hero, 10 greed, and last up is going to be the relic. So you want to be able to shoot Jinju all the way to the back of the map, so you need this roll of teleportation. Since Jinju revives and revives and revives and always goes long and long and long, you want Fear Devour. And then last up, you want Blade Crown, just on the for your main 2 Jinjus, so that way they don't get any stuns. That helps defeat Lycas, and also if you get the logs, facing logs, you don't get knocked back by them as well. So this build got me into God rank in both seasons actually, and then on my last run I was 8 out of 10. I only lost twice, and those are both only -5 ranks because I lost just by a few points. So I'm going to go ahead and create my troops and show you how I form. So let's hope this is a good one because this video is already long enough. So level 1, be prepared to lose level 1, which is fine. Essentially the main thing with level 1 for me is just getting at least one Jinju, a tank, a Muir, and then since this one doubled up, I can actually sell it for 5 expand and expand once, and then put in whatever extra hero I have. So since this hero means nothing really, I'm just going to throw it on. It actually doesn't have any accessories. Probably should have put accessories on it just because they're here. But the main thing with doing this is your expand slot. If you do get on the next round a expand slot item, it's worth 10 coins instead of the 5 that it is. See, perfect. So in this case, I'm just going to throw it on the metal because I don't need the armor, or I could use the armor. So I'm just going to throw it on here and hope for the best, and nope. So with round 2 here, essentially what I'm looking for is a 5-star Jinju. So I'm going to essentially merge everything and sell until I do get that 5-star Jinju. Which sometimes, if you are unlucky, which somewhat getting, it can hurt. Perfect, there we go. Okay. So now I want Cardan. I want Hurang, if I can find them. Perfect. Cardan, Hurang. I'll throw in a second taunter, and let's okay. Let's do this. Since items can be removed, throw anything on the heroes now, so don't waste. So again, Hurang's here for stunning. Cardan is here for the mirror passives. Tavek's here for taunting, and then my 2 Jinjus are going to be here for the actual damage. Always accept the going. No. Always accept the challenges. I just did not need those. Now here's, I want to build up another Jinju. 4, 5, 6. 8, 10, 4, 8. For Hurang and Cardan, you really only need 1 star for them, so don't put any economy into them. Taybax does have the revive for me, so it's okay. If you can get higher health, then definitely do that. but it's not the end of the world if you only have a 1-star on there as well, just because your Jinjus are basically infinite lives and the damage dealers. So you do want to start getting up to 6 Jinjus, I find works the best. I'm gonna try and go for 3 stars. Of course, just a waste. You want to start building up on round 4, up to 6 Jinjus that you'll need. Okay. So right now I've got the 4 in. So next round I'll be expanding twice, and then hoping for more Jinjus there. Sword with split. So for book. Okay. Okay. That's double up. Perfect. Awesome. That's exactly what I was praying for in my head. Alright, so now I'll probably not go for 6, probably just go for 5. That's good. Oh, perfect. See how lucky I got. I'll go for 5. And then keep this. How much gold do I have? Oh, perfect. Ha! Alright, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6, 10. One, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got my 6. Why not? So I got really lucky on round 5, so I did get my 6 Jinjus. Only one is tier 4, which is not too bad. Item-wise could be better, but I got my good 3 items on my tier 7 Jinju. Then the rest doesn't really matter what they're on. If you are going to put the crown, whoever has the second crown, put the better items on them. I like this format. Sometimes I'll move the Jinjus down 1 during battle, or if you ring down a few, all depending on the battle, but this is the setup that I'll take for entering into any arena. So I'm now going to hope and attack someone, and hopefully it works out for us. And so I have no idea who this guy is, so I'm gonna not risk it for the video. I don't like facing Jinju versus Jinju, even though mine should win. He's also on my team as well. I don't like facing Hansies that have the crit, and also this guy is fully loaded, probably with all of his stuff. So I'm going to show you how to switch your opponents. So you can only do this 5 times a day with Trial Match. You essentially just battle So I just skipped all that, so hopefully by just attacking one of the trial matches, it should refresh your opponents. However, sometimes it does refreshes into the same opponents. So we now see Relic is still there, so he didn't move. This guy used to be the question mark, but now we can see what he has. He only has tier 1 mirror and a decent Hansi, so I'm actually going to be attacking him. Power Wu is now gone, so it's a black rose. So I'm going to be attacking this Korean guy and hope it works. So he's going to be sending Leo back. Actually, I can just do this. Round ones, typically just assume you're going to lose. Because unless you get pretty lucky with your build, you'll pretty much just lose. Now again, I died a few times. That Hansi really hurt me, but since I'm on basically unlimited lives almost, that's what carried me to be able to beat this. Don't do 2 He-Rangs, as you can only stun 2 people at the same time. Even if you have a team of 10, Hansi's, it's only 2 people that will be stunned. So you're just wasting a spot on your battlefield, which could be another tank, which is very useful, or it could be another damage dealer, or in this case, in my case, it would be Jinju, right? You're better off getting 2 mirrors on the field than 2 Hansis. Not Hansis, sorry, He-Rangs. And last up, should be good. I probably would have put Hansi on the teleport, but that's fine. Ooh. Got execute. 30% execute. So I did lose. Basically do that execute mark and the split damage, but that's fine. I still won plus 5 points. Not ideal for showing this on a YouTube video. However, you still get the win. Which means when you're grinding hard for that King God rank, sometimes those plus 5 wins is what you'll take. Now, good luck with your League of Meringue for the arena build, and if you have any questions, always feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out with anything that I can do. Feel free to like and share as well with your communities and discords, and until next time, see you guys later. Bye for now.